Not guys.
Men, no, no, and I will argue this to the ground. If any dude's like, no, dude, I just want to give my boys and go out and have fun.
No, you don't.
Bullshit. Okay, that's not true.
Like,
that is
there's no point.
That is the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my entire. I've never once been like, yo, boys, I feel like I gotta go dance.
Hi guys.
Almost like I'm still
21.
hungover from 20.
Wow, it's almost like we didn't wait till 21 to hit us.
Look, and the carpet's fine.
Okay, guys. All right.
There's no.
Let's focus on the game that we were playing.
No aftermath. No aftermath.
I don't want
on
to
the
focus
carpet.
on. I don't want to focus on the game either because
who
that
won?
was just
I forgot.
I don't even know. I think it was me. You sure it was you?
I'm positive it was me. We
Are
literally
you
have
sure?
video proof. What the hell are you talking about? Are you sure it was you? Yeah, I wiped the floor with you. I was like getting all emotional and still wiping the floor with you.
Wow. Well, guys, thank you for being such huge supporters for Busybodies.
Yes.
We could not do this without you. We love you. It's been such an epic ride so far, and we're just tapping into a new season of life.
I mean, it is. It's like every 10 episodes is like a new season, right?
Yeah, I feel like it is.
Oh, man. So a lot has happened
This is true.
These last few weeks.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about it?
Are you guys going to talk about it?
I mean, like...
Okay, here, before we get into that topic,
yeah.
I'm so glad for the first... So this is so,
Why are you laughing by yourself?
It's so random, but
Okay.
first and maybe last time I go to this place.
Oh, okay.
But we went and hung out in Mexico's beautiful
Mexico's
location.
first and last time.
Yeah,
No.
beautiful location, beautiful resort. Everything was perfect, minus the food poisoning.
Oh, well, dude, that's
Yeah.
a staple.
So,
I mean...
but when I tell you knives in my chest and stomach, it was bad. And the crazy thing about it too is how many guests were at his wedding? Like 150.
Yeah.
Over 100 people got sick.
What?
Not me.
What?
Over
I was
100
good.
people.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
Brandon was one of them.
That's the best diet ever. Like, if you're really trying to get off those last few pounds, just
Oh my
fly to
gosh.
Mexico, drink a little tap water, and
you're
call
good.
it a day, man.
He actually ate raw chicken.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
you-
Wait,
no,
was
you,
it like...
You can't say it like that.
I can say it like that.
That's not what
he
happened.
got this
That's
lovely
not what
taco
happened.
plate, and he ate
was-
the
it
one
was
taco
lovely.
and was
It was
like,
lovely.
"Oh, it's raw," and then he kept eating the other two.
Well, see, listen, there's a certain
Don't give me
level
that
of
look.
people pleaser. How old were you when you finally could ask someone to send the meal back? It took me years. Like, I hate to admit, it was probably only up to like a year and a half ago. I grew into the adult version to be like, sir, I can't eat this. I used to be like, if I got like steak and you brought me pasta, I'd be like, this is fine. I'll
I'll
just
be
have
fine.
this.
I'll eat this. It'll be fine.
It's funny you said that though, because it's always that awkward moment if you don't like your meal,
Oh,
or
bro.
if they didn't cook it well enough.
No, the
and you're like,
worst.
how do I say this,
Dude,
Oh, I just say it.
the worst
I say
is
it.
when you send it back, it comes back, and
you
it's
still
still
don't
wrong.
like
Yeah, and you're like, "How did you end up here?"
At that point, you just leave. Like, at the point, you pay, you don't touch it, and you get out of there. That's
like we've literally
social
had
suicide for
conversations
me.
because it's like, if we're gonna go out to eat and we're gonna go to a nice restaurant, you're gonna want to like eat well, but then we've had the conversation where it's like, how do we say to just stop bringing it back and just eliminate the bill? Just eliminate it off the bill.
Oh, like
We
take
want
it off the
something
bill?
else. Yeah.
Well, Kirsten's, you're good with that. We experienced that at a bar like a
Yeah.
few weeks ago. Like,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
so good with that. But also,
I had to learn though, Jake, because when I started realizing my allergies, food allergies,
Yeah.
I had to be more verbal about what I could and couldn't have.
That's fair.
And so, like, I just learned that if you do it respectfully, they're not gonna care about that.
Yeah.
It's more just if you're like, "Excuse me, like this is awful,"
Like, if
Yeah.
you're
or
rude
like,
about it.
then
Yeah.
they're gonna spit in your food. I mean, I would spit in your food.
can I actually...
I'm just kidding. I would.
Ever since that movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds...
I've never seen it.
Okay, so in that movie, and well, to be fair, I grew up just like the Southern, like it's almost like the 10 Commandments of being Southern hospitality. It's like you're sweet to everybody, sweet to the staff, everyone. So I never,
Which makes sense.
yeah, of course it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like a rule of thumb moving forward for anyone in their life. But that movie specifically, this lady is so rude to the waiter, so rude to everything, and it shows them like the chef's like loogie in her steak and send it back, and she eats it. And she's like, great. But it's like ever since watching that movie, I like, oh my God. But you know what's funny though, is I have, and maybe it's like a brotherly confidence or so, I don't know how to explain it, but I have no problem asking for someone's meal to be fixed or whatever if it's someone else. Like, that's the thing. When it comes to me, I'm very much like, and also too, I guess because I don't stand on it too much where I'm like, no, it has to be this way. But for me, for the most part, I'm just kind of like, no, it's fine. I'll eat it. Whatever, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
But like, if it's, if it's for my girlfriend, then I'll be like, no, do you not want that?
Yeah.
No, we're going up there. You're gonna get what you want. And she's like, no. And I'm like, you're gonna get what you want.
You're gonna get it.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny because I'll go up there and be like, hey, this isn't what we ordered, you know what I mean? And I hate that, but can we get this fixed? No problem. Cool. But if it's me, I'm just like, no, it's okay. No, I know you dropped it. Just put it back on the plate.
It's because you're trying to be the good person. And
Yeah.
like when you're
Right,
fighting for
right.
somebody else,
You feel good
you
about
feel
it, too.
good like I stood up for somebody. But if you're like complaining, then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm terrible. But really, ultimately, you just gotta get over yourself.
Yeah.
There's one situation.
Myself, I have to do.
There's one situation we went through. It was pretty awkward.
Okay.
Wait, which one?
But it
I'm
wasn't.
intense.
But it wasn't in the restaurant. It was actually hilarious. So we're
I'm nervous now.
for
What are we doing?
for all the West Coast audience. It was the In-N-Out drive-through.
Oh.
The In-N-Out drive-through, and I won't forget.
Depends on where you go, though, man. They are locked in
No,
most places.
In-N-Out.
Most
No,
times,
yeah.
This was
In-N-Out
like 6 years ago.
Like
Yeah, okay, okay.
9 out of 10 times, phenomenal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But we went through this drive-through, and I could have again. It was an assumption, so we don't 100% know.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the guy was like slightly stoned.
Oh, okay.
While he was working the window, right?
Hell yeah.
And
All
he was
right.
giving us our food, and we ordered just to simplify it. We
He
ordered
gave it
two,
to you. He's like, can I have a bite?
we ordered
Almost.
two double doubles, 2 fries.
Okay.
And we get the bag, and I look in the bag, and I think it was only 1 double double and 1 fry. So then I go to him and I'm like, hey man, sorry, it was supposed to be 2 double doubles and 2 fries. He's like, oh, okay. He takes the bag back. He's like, can I have the receipt? I was like, sure. Okay, so he gives us the bag back a couple minutes later, and then it's like the burger with 2 fries, but there's the second burger's not there, and then I literally look at Kirsten and I'm like, is this happening right now? So I literally stopped the guy again. I was like, hey man. He's like, hey. And I was like, we're missing a burger. He's like, okay, here, I'll take the bag back. And I kid you not, oh my God, he gives me the bag back. I forgot the function. I forgot what was in the bag.
Yeah.
But we were still missing 1 burger.
Oh,
Missing
really?
1 burger. And then it got to the point where I was like, dude, like, where's the burger?
This is what then what happened out of nowhere is he grabs with his bare hands a burger and puts his whole hand on it.
The bun.
He
He's
holds
holding
up
the
a
bun.
bun and he hands it to me.
Bro,
and
hey.
I was like,
Hey.
ew. I was like, excuse me, in and out.
The worst part about it.
You went straight to
yeah.
Bob Cut and you're like, can I talk to your
yeah,
manager?
No, I did. I was like,
You
the
went
lady,
Karen on
there's
him.
a lady sweeping like by the garbage can, and I'm
Yeah.
like, excuse me, how do I get a hold of In and Out?
Oh,
And
how do
she's
I get
like,
a hold of
and
no.
she's like, it's okay, you can just dial this number. And I'm like, I will. I was like, excuse me, but there's this man, and I think that he handed me my burger with his bare hands.
The funny thing about it too is like,
Oh, man.
I saw him turn.
Right.
And I saw what he was going to do, and I was like, please don't do it. Because I was staring at him, but I could only imagine what Kirsten was thinking about next to me.
Because it was my
So
burger.
It was her
Yeah.
burger out of all things. It had to be her burger.
Yeah.
And it was,
I remember his name too, Dalton.
Oh,
I wasn't going to
man.
say
What
it,
a
but
guy.
yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Dalton's going to come across this one day and be like, oh, there they
There
are.
they are. They're the ones who said something.
Man,
But yeah, that was pretty awkward.
I don't know, dude. I remember going out with my grandma, rest her soul. We used to go to a place, and she'd be like, "How do they make this?" You know, she'd be like, "What's in it?"
What?
She'd be like, "What's in it?"
I love the impersonation.
And
How do I make this?
because she would like to order stuff that she would make herself, and then she'd order it and have it, and she's like, "They don't make it right. They don't make it right." Like,
That's
It
amazing.
didn't matter where we went. She'd always be like, and then she started telling the waiter, like, you know what you guys should do is make it with this and do this, and the waiter's just like, all right, great, like, cool. I'll let the
Waiter's
chef know.
probably like, all right,
yeah,
like-
man. Oh God, I have such vivid memories of doing that. I also remember, like, oh, dude, like, Did you ever spill shit on the table when you were a kid?
Yes.
Like
By
I
accident.
used to
Yeah.
do it
Big time.
all the time. That it's
Would you dip the crayon in the drink and then like
No, that's
spread
for
it
you.
around?
That's all. That's all you. I don't.
I was like, that's a you
That's
thing.
a little too revealing. I don't know what. No, I my crayon stayed dry. I never. You're like yes, and then you'd eat the Play-Doh,
Yes,
right?
and you'd eat
no,
it.
no, I didn't do any of that.
I'd eat the
I just remember.
papers.
I just remember my parents, my dad, bless his heart, would get so mad when we'd spill stuff on the table.
Aw.
It would just be like, oh, well, dinner's ruined. You know what I mean? Like it, dude. It was. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. I don't know. Speaking of dadhood, my pup, guys, Atlas, he's the best now. He's like, he
Oh.
can hang out at home finally. He's doing so
You've been a
good.
great dad, Jake.
There you
Yeah,
go.
man. He's
Good
starting
dog
like.
dad.
Thank you. Well, honestly, I think it was the 6 weeks of training he went to, and not had nothing to do with me. But thank you. That's very.
Thank you, trainer.
Yeah, that's very kind. That's very kind. Oh man. But it's so rewarding. I must say, it's so rewarding now because like we go out and about, and he's just so good. He's so good, and it's funny too. And I guess I can understand like. You know, there are parents that at some point they're like, well, that's just my kid. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like the things they get mad about, they also start to embrace about their child.
Yep.
So my dog has like a very terrible, it's not terrible anymore. It's just who he is. He will piss a gallon if you touch him. If you touch him and he's like really
Right,
excited
right.
to see you, dude, he is like a fountain. He'll just squirt all over you. And I used to be just, why, you know? And I've realized that's just who he is. That's who he is. And it's like that. I've had like
It's a great
such a
characteristic.
great coming to God moment about it. I'm just like,
There
you
you
know
go.
what? That's my buddy. That's my boy. And
Yep.
if anything, I'm happy about it.
You just
now.
reminded me of Nolan
What?
on your birthday.
Oh, bless his heart. Yeah. I'm just like so proud. It's my birthday. My dog's
Yeah,
like finally
yeah.
back from training, and I'm like, he doesn't really pee anymore. Nolan, our friend Nolan, comes up to me for the first. He's like the first one to the house, and Atlas sees him, and it's almost like he went up to him and specifically pissed on his shoes. Like he didn't care about seeing Nolan.
Hello.
He just went up to him. He's like, 1 second.
Oh no.
Like just
Yeah.
right on him, man.
Oh,
Yeah, I
That's
but
terrible.
listen, you know, like that's the part of parenting that I'm starting to realize. It's like I finally crossed that gap. You know, they say when you first get them, like I didn't really understand the whole when you get a dog, she's like, oh, you just can't spend time away from him. You can't do it. It's like, dude, bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Like when I first got my pup, there were so many times where I was like, he's so hard to handle. Where I'm like, I would leave him, you know, with like his board and train for like a week because sometimes I just had to leave, had to go do something.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, damn, I like this time away is kind of nice. And I know like some people are gonna be like, oh, how could you? But it's true. It's like it was nice. And now I finally hit that cusp where I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like I couldn't.
Well,
Like
you
he's
found
my
a relationship with
yeah,
him.
it's like you
Yeah.
really start to understand your pup, and it's the coolest thing. It's
Right.
it's definitely one of the most like so
It's like raising a kid.
yeah,
literally.
and
Or
it's
friendships.
It's
or
also like
relationships.
yeah.
totally, and you know I feel like, and I even do it to myself as well. There's this thing about you can't have regrets, or nothing's regret. Everything's a lesson. And it is like everything is definitely a lesson, but this was one of those decisions I'm like, I probably could have taken a little more time on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it was so difficult because all his difficulties, like there's nothing worse when you make a decision, and you shouldn't care about other people's opinions, but we're human. And what everyone warned you kind of happened. Like there's nothing worse than that. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's like when it's like, oh, don't do that. This is gonna happen. You're like,
Not gonna
I got
happen. I'm
this,
better
and
than
it
this.
all happens, and you're just like, oh my god. Like, and that's a lot of like getting him. That's a lot of what it was. But I think the cool thing is getting past it and being like, oh, well, that was really hard, and people were right for the
Right.
most part, but I did it, and that you know I can at least say like. And moving forward, yes, and it's also taught me not to make such rash decisions, not to be so impulsive with certain things
Yeah.
like that. But also through the journey, I have found a different version of myself through it, which is really awesome. And I have an amazing relationship with my pup, and I've kind of used it for a lot of things moving forward. I think about it a lot with like, you know,
That's how I felt with Brandon. You know, like when I
that's a terrible.
I'm just joking.
Oh,
but I'm just saying
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Let me hear your
It's so
joke to this.
funny.
Let's hear your joke.
No,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
just like, you know, before stepping into a big relationship,
Mm.
you didn't know that I would find myself married. Or we're about to be 3 years
Right,
married.
Wow.
You know, like, and so
I never saw that happening either.
Yeah,
right?
that's
You told me you
crazy.
saw it happening the moment you
I
saw
feel like
me.
you might have seen it happen just a little
Yeah.
bit. Like I heard, like
But
this
you
dude
know-
would come over and that's all he talked about.
Yeah,
you know
well,
what I mean?
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But you
I
know,
got you.
before jumping into something, you can like someone will give you the list of stuff that you should
Yeah.
expect.
Yeah.
And then you're like, nah, I'm gonna be different.
Yeah.
And then you sit there as a married person, like I'll be there with my single friends or people who
Mm-hmm.
are wanting to be married, and I'll literally look at them and like, I could tell you all the same things that my mom told me and all my married friends told me, but you're not gonna believe me until you get there.
Yeah.
And like
No one believes you
No
ever.
one believes you.
Yeah.
You're like, I promise, I'm living through it. I'm
Yeah.
proof.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
it's a thing you kind of sometimes just have to learn. And
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's also it's
Definitely.
like every situation. You know, every situation's different. You know, no
Yeah.
one's the same as each other. So you're always gonna tackle things that you just probably didn't even hear of, or you're
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, here we go again.
yeah,
I mean,
like leaving cupboards open. That's what I do for Brandon.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, okay,
Hold
wait.
on.
What's your what hold on. This is great. This
Yeah.
is great. What
So
what
that's
are
so that she just kind of said it for me.
Okay,
But
Sorry.
Okay. okay.
so basically,
This is great.
all the time,
I
all
just
the
need
time.
to start something that gets you two
Yeah.
going, and then I'll just like riff from you guys. Just go like
Start off
So,
with dogs into marriage.
you know,
busy marriage therapy.
if there's one thing that's funny,
Only one.
like living
Only one.
with Kirsten and being married that I've witnessed is, for some reason, Kirsten just has this habit of, you know, kitchen.
That's a loaded start to it.
Kitchen, bathroom, whatever it is,
Uh-huh.
she'll open cabinets and never close them.
Do you really?
They're always open.
Like just a drawer open? Like you don't shut it?
I
That's-
kid you not.
That would eat me
Okay,
alive.
hold on.
Okay, I wish I could show you guys, but I'll show you after. There's one time I sent Kirsten.
Do you have evidence?
I sent Kirsten a picture.
He holds it against me in his phone.
I sent her a picture
Wow.
and I walk into the kitchen. I'm like, what happened here? Every cabinet in the kitchen wide open. I mean,
Whoa.
just. And
okay,
then, like,
but
and
in
it-
my
and-
defense,
and it's
I'm
funny.
just trying to get things done. Like I'm trying to make the coffee.
But like
trying
it
to do
takes a
this.
second to shut it.
I forget. I'm moving.
the funniest part
and I'm
too
too
is-
short to hit them. So I like la 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 la, and Brandon's got that 1 inch above
funny.
me.
Not last night. I think the night before. We're cooking together,
Uh-huh.
and I'm on the left side. She's doing something on the right side, but she has to go to my left to open the cabinet of the seasoning,
Oh my
and she
God.
opens it. And then as I go to cook, I'm like, ooh! I dodged the cabinet because I almost knocked my head out.
Yeah.
And then I move to the right, and I have to go.
Yeah.
I'm
This
teaching you how to
cabinet's wide
dance,
open.
babe. Whoop.
I'm telling you though, you know what's funny about all this though, and it's making me think there are you need help, first of all. Second,
Jen.
no, I'm kidding. It's
I'm
just like
working on
it's just
it.
like
I'm working.
is that
We
how
got this,
every
we got
but
this.
like you shut car doors, like when you open your door, you shut it.
Oh yeah, I
And
do
the-
shut the cabinets after. I shut it after.
I shut things. I do.
I do.
Okay.
It's just
Like
when
what about
I-
like the toothpaste cap? Do you put it back on? Or do you
Yes.
get those that like can shut automatically?
shut automatically.
Okay, good. So a lot of your stuff's like automatic.
Yes.
Good, good.
But
good.
I-
Just like our plans.
yeah, yeah.
They are automatic plans.
Yeah.
But it's because there's so many things in 1 second that needs to be done. So I'll go close them again. It's just I'm not closing them in time for him to walk past them.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like
So,
they're
like-
closed before.
Yeah. No, she'll leave them open.
Let me-
leave the house, go get work done, come back, close them.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Go on,
okay.
got this.
Hold on. I just like question. I just need to get some
Stuck on the
context here.
cabinets.
So like,
Cabinets.
so like,
Therapy for cursing in a cabinet.
you open a cabinet. How long are we talking before it shuts?
no,
Day,
no,
hours,
day.
day.
What the cheeseburgers? I have, however, though, if I'm in too much of a mindset, I have accidentally left things on, like the burner,
Okay,
or like different
okay.
stuff. So I've had to learn to pay attention
Uh-huh.
in things because I quickly move on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a habit thing. I gotta figure out.
Solution.
Yes.
Possible solution. Take all the cabinet drawers and
Away.
off. Just
Yes.
off.
Just no
And just-
doors.
Just,
No doors.
you guys
Just no
should just be
doors.
like an open drawer policy. So you
I
don't
like
run
it.
into anything. It's just you guys should just have everything
I
on
agree.
the counter.
I can curse into this. Everything is just here, open. Where do we need? That'd be so much harder to
That's-
find things.
Well, see-
not even that. It's the anxiety of seeing everything everywhere.
Well, I have a question too. Who's more clean? Like who's or are you both
We're
relative
both clean in different ways.
Ah, do
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah,
do
way
tell.
different
Do
ways.
tell.
Well, I think we're both clean in a way where it's like, if I'm home and there's something that needs to be done and she's not, I get it done. Or if
Uh-huh.
she's home and something needs to get done and I'm not, she'll get it done.
Okay.
Like, we kind of like
We're
stay on.
pretty good
we
on
st-
that.
We stay on top of.
And is that true?
Yes.
Because it's
Thankfully.
like, no, we'll
Yeah.
get it done. We'll get it. Because so it's like, and then at the end of the day, you're folding and cleaning
Yeah.
all
No,
the time.
actually, it's
or-
actually so beautiful how
It's
we work
balanced?
together like
We
that
definitely
because
balance. And it's funny too because
Yeah.
That's good.
sometimes,
Yeah.
kind of like elaborate what you were just saying, it's funny enough. Sometimes, let's say if one's done it more than the other one,
Mm-hmm.
the one that's done it more will see things and leave it for the
So
other
they,
one.
so you guys
to
can
do
break
it.
even.
So the other one can do it.
I love how petty it can be because it's true.
yeah.
It
like,
can be.
like
Yeah.
last night,
but
you know,
there's
because
ti-
Brandon does majority of the dishes he does.
Okay.
And then I do majority of a lot of the other stuff, like majority of the laundry or like washing the bathroom. Like
Yeah,
I do a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
the
yeah.
bathroom cleanings and the counters. But last night, you know, I was working late, and so I came home and none of the dishes are done, and I'm like, okay, I get it. He wants me to wash them, so
Oh,
I will
nice.
wash them when I get
Nice.
home.
Uh-huh.
And so in the morning, he feels loved. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
like, or like when I have to be home a certain time, he'll make me a meal or
That's a
something.
gestures,
Yes.
yeah.
And so I think we are really good at that, and
Is
that's
that-
one of our qualities.
Is that your guys' love language? What's your love language?
Acts of service is my
Acts of
Honestly,
service.
I don't
Nice.
know, I think I just like all of
Hot,
them.
hot.
Yeah, I like all of them.
Yeah.
Acts
not-
of service is all
Sorry,
of them.
that's not true. We actually
So-
have some that are
okay, but-
always going to be better.
Okay, but hold on. You're right because
Yeah.
she says it too.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I like them.
Gun
all,
to
but,
your head.
But there
Pick
is
one
But there
right
is-
now.
there is one that's supposed
Cabinet
to be more.
to your head.
Yeah, cabinet,
Pick one
cabinet to your
now.
head.
I
Come
mean,
on, pick
dang,
one.
I'd be
Pick
gone.
one.
I don't know. What are all of them again?
Acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, and physical touch.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they all sound great.
No, I know, but one
So-
sticks out, and typically it's one.
Yeah.
Typically, it's one you didn't get enough growing up. Not to say you weren't loved. You just
Sure,
this one
sure.
you didn't get enough. Of.
Brandon searches more for words of affirmation.
See, I'm a words of affirmation
Yeah.
guy.
He
Like
can-
that's what I like.
He can
I
thrive
hear you.
off of me saying, "You look so good today," or "You did great today." He can thrive on that. But
Yeah.
if Brandon doesn't say it as soon as he sees me, I don't believe him anymore.
Oh, great. Okay.
Because it's not my like
Interesting.
language. Like
Dude, you should be taking notes.
I don't know why
Interesting.
that is. I think it's because I'm an initial reaction person. Like
Uh-huh.
actions mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So what someone does in the beginning of something, I usually
So
believe
then,
them.
what was yours
There
again?
was
Acts of service?
Acts of service.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
But that's like doing everything outside of someone's convenience.
Yeah. So
There
then,
was-
what do you like? You know, what's funny is faith based wise. I feel like those things go hand in hand.
No.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like your act of service and then also being someone of faith. That
Yep.
makes sense to me. So, okay, so that's what. Is that what you like to do, or that's what you like? I can't remember because there's like sometimes people have different ones. Like for example,
Like-
I love
like what
my-
you like to receive.
I
but
love
what you
to
give.
receive. You know, like
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. That
Yeah.
I think that and physical touch really battle each other for what
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like gifts and stuff, and acts of service is great. Like all that stuff too, quality time. But like really like someone that hears you out, someone that confirms
Yeah.
like what you're feeling. That has always for me been like the one. Like
Yeah.
that's when I feel really connected.
Yeah.
But what I am my love. I am
Love to give.
If I love to like spoil or like flowers or give or something, or I'm a big acts of service guy. I
Yeah.
love doing things like,
Yeah.
and I know it's like people say, you know, at the end of the day, that's how you die rich or that's how you live a rich life is literally giving and doing. And the older I get, I'm like, yeah, it's true. Like typically my day feels better after a phone call with a friend where I give advice or
Yes.
after like something I
someone on the
did to
street.
help. Like
Yeah.
my day does feel better regardless of where I'm at. And that's how I even like sidebar. That's how I even start to know that like, oh shit, like it really isn't what I love to do is what fulfills me necessarily. It's like I come to realize a lot of it as I'm getting older. It's like, no, it really is like I love giving
Serving
and
people.
help serving.
Yeah.
And I need to find
It's-
ways to do that in my life more because I didn't realize like because I'm
It's
always
fulfilling.
like, oh, it's making this money, it's doing this because I'm that's always in the back of my head is like how can I
Yeah.
make money? How can I do this? And then making it and I like making it, don't get me wrong.
We love
but also
making it.
it
Yeah.
still doesn't top that. Like it
It's funny you say that.
so what's yours? I went into a whole thing. So what's
It's okay. Tangent.
Well, to kind of add to a little bit of what you're saying, also, it is funny you said that because the other day we were talking where it's like, hey, like we both love what we do, like we love our work, and it's important to set like those daily goals or weekly goals, whatever it is, to feel accomplished. But then we were sitting on the couch the other day. I was like, you know, we got to start doing more things like together.
Yeah.
Like outside of work or business. Like every day that goes by is technically like yesterday's history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It gets so easy. It gets so easy to fall into the pattern. And I mean, I totally, and I'm sure marriage is that next step, but I totally understand that. It's like you get comfortable in the pattern of being with your person. You guys, it's like
you can't get lost. You can't get lost in the work or lost in the way of just like, I'm only going to see my partner at night. I'm going to eat and I'm going to go to sleep.
And tell me if you guys feel this way. Sometimes, like when you're in such that pattern, when you're locked into that pattern, you also, whether you know it or not, expect things of your partner, and those expectancies can be more fulfilled and fleshed out when you guys have quality time, because it's easier to be like, oh, I can be this for you and you can be this for me. And you don't, like, we're both people, so you can't always be that for each other. Like there's a certain relativity of being like anchors for each other, but you can't always, because we're always going through our own stuff.
Right.
But it's like when you're not making that quality time, and it's like you came home, maybe you had a bad day and they did this extra thing, and it's like you're more combative because you're not giving yourself that time.
It's also a bad
to actually
timing.
walk through things.
To walk through things. Yeah.
Because, you know, when not that we have a beautiful marriage, but there's always going to be things that you have to work through.
Yeah.
So like in today's, like if something happens, we don't have time to process that or walk through it. And then we have a date night. That whole date night's going to be processing through it. And then we need another date night to actually enjoy the time, right? But like the thing is like people see that as invaluable, but it's actually more valuable to have that's quality time. Quality time is getting to the depth of the core with somebody and saying, I am entrusting you with all of my vulnerability, and it is sometimes ugly, and I hope you still want to be here after it, but you know what, at the same time, I'm looking at yours, and let's solve this together.
Yeah. There's nothing. Oh my God. You know what that reminds me of? You want to talk about like two people that can't. It just reminded me of like this really bad date I had. Like I'm just thinking about like two people that can't like have quality time or like can't like talk.
It's a really bad date you had?
Yeah. Let's just say the date ended with like us both sitting there. I'm at her house and she goes, let's get you home.
She didn't do the knee tap like what you just did.
She did the knee tap, bro.
Wait, was this like a first or second?
No,
or like
this
a
was
third
like
date, or?
this was like I think I came off as much more cool and partier than I was at this party we initially met at. And then the actual date, which I wasn't that, you know what I mean? It's just like, I was at this pool party with some buddies and it was more like, you know, I have like that kind of partier person in me. But as I've gotten older, it's like, it's more selective now. I'm not always that. And when we met there, like I was recently single or whatever. And so I was like very much part of the show. You know what I mean? If the party was an attraction, I was one of the like, you know what I mean, players there or whatever. One of the acts. And I had that version of me. And then the next version of me, like for the date, was just very much like, yeah, so let's talk about life. Let's talk.
Like your in-depth part. I understand because I'm that person. Like people are like, well, she's the life of the party. And then you sit down with me and you're like, I didn't want to go there.
Dude, yeah. That's what I felt like. Like, that's what I mean. It's like, I feel like, you know, she was expecting like the dubstep version of me. And she got like the sad singer-songwriter acoustic.
Jazz?
Yeah, she got like the jazz on the date. She was just like, let's get you home. And it just reminded me of like, you're just some people you're just not meant to mesh with. And when you do have that, when you can have that like quality talking time like you're talking about, it's so special.
Yes.
It also makes me think like the dating world sounds so terrifying these days. Like I couldn't even imagine. And I always hated dating apps in general. Like I still
that's a lie. I was on one.
Yeah, I still think it's like I still was it Raya?
Yeah, but it was because
Raya's like,
but it was because I was helping promote them, like
Oh,
one of their like
yeah.
first little influencer Raya people.
Yeah, I that
I never went on a date though.
I mean,
That's what I was wondering. My brand deal date.
Yeah. A brand deal date. Yeah, like a
get paid to
like
go on a
charity,
date?
like a charity
Sweet.
auction date or something. Yeah, man, I couldn't imagine doing it anymore just because like, and I never want to. I am good to go.
Locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded. But like,
Right.
but God,
Heard
who was
of
I
folks.
talking about recently? That was talking about like dating. I was talking to a buddy of mine. Gosh, who? What? You know what? Excuse me. I'm not gonna out them. I'm not gonna out them. Yeah.
Excuse me,
Do our
Jake.
best.
Yeah, I had to get it out.
not-
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not.
I'm not gonna out them, but like, it was just talking about. It's like, it's so different now. You know what I mean? It's so different, and I mean, I think it's just different from like dating like 5 or 6 years ago. I couldn't even, because I don't know if you guys did. I never dated. Does that make any
I
sense?
never dated either.
It's like I didn't like do the
Date a bunch of
formal
people.
dating. Well, just like the dating, like going on dates.
I never did
You know,
either.
it's like I never really, I never really did that. I think I kind of hated it.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah, I think it was like the same. Really, until I got with Kirsten,
Mm-hmm.
that happened. Other than that, I was always just like hanging out.
That's the thing. I think dates were hard for me to justify if I didn't know if I was really
Like
a long term, and you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, I that's where it got really tough. I'm like, this is about to be like a $200 dinner.
So
I'm
I
like,
never
what if I
thought.
don't even like talking to you once it's done?
I never
Like-
knew I was on dates when I was on dates. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh yeah,
Because people would invite me, my friends would invite me to like a dinner, and I'd be like, "Cool," and then
you're like, "Why
they
are you
never
taking your pants off?"
established it was a date, and I'm like,
yeah.
by the end of it, I friend zoned them real quick.
Oh man,
and
yeah,
I felt
she-
bad, but
she
like
had
you know,
has her track record of doing
yeah,
that. huh?
friend
no.
zone.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
at least I told them up front so they didn't give me their all in the moment.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
wasn't there to try to
feel like-
steal their love or their money or nothing.
But-
you
like,
know?
well,
it's. I feel like
most
it's a
of- most-
challenge for a
yeah.
lot of I feel like men.
Well, yeah, I was
It's
gonna
a
say for
challenge.
guys,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna have to go up to the person and ask them out on a date. It's gonna be very verbal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you're
I need
gonna-
to know your intentions.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely. Okay, here's my question. Do you guys believe in beauty privilege?
What is beauty privilege?
So okay, so there's like
I mean, I
obviously
kind of
there's
understand it,
obviously like privilege in general. All right, that's its whole other thing. But I'm talking about. I've always swore and swear I still believe this, that there's a such thing as beauty privilege. Like very beautiful people, regardless of like race and gender, regardless, are going to have certain privileges. Like life's going to be easier in certain ways. Like, do you guys agree or disagree with that? Like, do you?
When you say easier, you mean like approaching people?
Well, not just approaching people. I mean, like free things, free drinks. People are nicer. People are sweeter. Like they did a study that talked about if you're taller, if you're like above 6 foot, you're more likely to make like 6 figures a year or higher.
Wow.
Because you're 6 foot, like 6
I need
foot
to
and
grow a
taller.
foot.
I thought you were gonna
I'm
say
saying
basketball or something.
No. I'm saying like there
Yeah.
are actual studies behind
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Behind
right.
like behind
I think when people are wowed with something,
Yeah.
they want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's a
and,
good-
And
yeah.
so, you know, in life, like let's just say if I see a beautiful nature garden, I want to be in there
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to do what I can to go there. So I think a lot of the time there is that, but also at the same time, a lot of people want to go to that garden at once. So the garden's going to be, it could be trampled.
yeah. Okay, wait.
Hold on. Because like a person
I'm a
could
little lost
feel the person can feel like, okay, let's just say it's a 6 foot person who walks in a thing and they get consumed with people. You can get lost in your identity, I think, as
Oh,
the other
getting
side
lost
of
in the
privilege.
vanity of what it
yes.
is. Yeah, okay.
So I think that there could be a privilege, but it's also not a privilege.
Right,
It's
right,
like
right,
it has
right.
two sides to it. I think just like with anything.
Yeah, like I guess like the pretty privilege I've always thought is like definitely like
Brandon
kind-
wants to say what he
Yeah,
wants
well,
to
no, I was
say.
just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say.
Let's
No,
hear
I
it.
was just gonna say. There's also like, there's a sense of.
He's like, yes, I'm privileged, but
That's what he's thinking.
No, there's
That's right,
there's
baby.
there's a sense of confidence.
Yeah,
To that
yeah.
attitude, right?
yeah.
And I feel like when you're fully confident in yourself and you not only you know that and you believe it so ardently, like you're naturally gonna attract certain things to you, or people are gonna feel
True.
that confidence and want to be a part of it in some way.
Yes.
Or you're gonna attract other confident people and they're gonna want to talk to you. And I just think naturally if you walk around with that mentality and that vibe,
Right.
you're gonna attract it.
Right.
Yep.
Well, because I just always love the joke of like those dudes that'd be like, dude, it's so easy. Just go up and say hi. I'm like, well, yeah, but look at you. Like freaking 6'3" Australian,
You know what's-
like
Oh
blue
my
eyes and dark
gosh.
hair. Mate, it's easy. I'm like, all right, dude.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't. Yeah, it's
Brandon's like, that's me.
well, it's. I mean,
Also, how many times did you meet someone by going up and just being like, sup?
A lot.
So I would say
Like not for like
I don't
anything
want
weird.
to. It's different.
okay. So with me,
It's different. It is different.
I didn't meet a lot of people basically going like, "Hey, what's up?" I met a lot of people.
Well,
like,
that's not a good
I,
pickup.
I met a
What's
lot.
up?
I met a lot of people where it's like, let's say, like if I find myself like sitting at the table next to another table, or if I'm waiting for my coffee drink, I just spark conversation with people. Or if I'm in line to do something, then I'll talk to the person in front of me or behind me. Like,
But we're people.
Yeah.
Like it's not even necessarily like because we're obviously married, but like even in situations, I like conversation with people, and so does Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
was also-
we're friends with the whole line
Yeah,
by the time we get our coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was also gonna say too, like, yeah, I can see how it can be intimidating to approach certain people sometimes, or the way you're thinking about it. But then it's also like the way you approach and your first words to that person
Matters.
is what makes it weird or not.
Yeah, well, of course. It's like you came up and you're like, you smell good, and then
Well, also
like,
your intentions.
you never met them
Okay,
before.
but also your intentions on talking to that person,
Yeah.
because people can feel that.
Yeah,
But I will say, for example, it's like what Kirsten said. We love meeting people, right? So naturally, if we're like just communicating with people and talking to people, it's very easy. But then let's say like if I look at someone and I've been with Kirsten before, and I'm just gonna be like, I think that person like owns this business. I should go talk to them about buying real estate.
Oh, sure.
But that makes it a little bit more intimidating.
See,
because then you're like,
You have a
okay,
purpose.
I got to go sell something.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think we've gotten more into just going up and talking to people.
Rather than, like,
I'm
dating.
talking about this from like a pure aspect of like on the prowl,
Yeah.
like trying to
Yeah,
find
yeah.
a partner.
I've
or
never
find-
done that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
like
Ever.
that's interesting because it's also like, I don't know your guys' thoughts on this. I know, like,
I also don't think a girl should pursue a man. So
sure.
That's just my personal
It's
opinion.
like I feel like women can go out and just dance, and that's why they're going out is to
Yes.
have a good time.
not guys.
Men,
Yeah.
no, like
Yeah.
no, and I will,
Yeah.
I will argue this to the ground. If any dude's like, no, dude, I just want
I
to
just
give
wanna
my
go have
boys
fun.
and go out and have fun. No,
you don't.
Bullshit. Okay, that's
Thank
not
you.
true.
Like,
that is
there's
like
no point.
That is the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my entire. I've never once been like, yo, boys, I feel like I gotta go dance. You know what I mean? Like I need to. Like today's been super hard. I think I just need to go shake it, have a few beers with my boys. I don't even want to look at women. Like I'm ready to go out.
Yeah.
No. You know what I mean? It's like
I agree with
and,
that.
and it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
funny, and it's
yeah.
like I think that's also when guys are like, ever since you got a girlfriend, you dropped off. It's like because my purpose of going out is
gone.
different.
Gone. Yeah,
like
it's gone,
you're
yeah.
going out because you're going to the watering hole. Like that's what you're doing. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, I've got a Brita filter at home. Like I don't have to go to the watering hole.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
know what I mean?
Good
It's like this
analogy,
is the
Jake.
purest shit you can get. You go have fun.
Yeah.
But it's really funny because like I was thinking
It's
about
true.
this. And then as you get older, I think maybe it changes a little bit. It is like I definitely do go have a drink to catch up with my buddy. Well,
Yeah, but
especially
that's very
it's
different
the-
than a
'cause
club.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say the location matters.
but I
too.
guess it's saying it's like it's also too. I know it's like you're trusting the partner and stuff, but like I know, and it's also being a relationship, I guess. But I know even then, like even if I'm single, my goal of going out is most of the time to find someone. I'm never just gonna be like, oh yeah, dude, $25 cocktails, just having a great. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, and buy it for someone else.
Yeah, and buy it for someone else who you don't even know is gonna talk to you for the rest of the night. Let's do it. That sounds awesome. No, bro. But
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
thing though. It's like if I was a girl, hell yeah, I'd go to the club every night, bro. Are you kidding me? Free drinks. I'm gonna dance my ass off with
Yeah.
my besties
Thank
and
you.
then go home.
Thank
that
you.
sounds awesome. I think if anything, guys need to start doing that more. And I'm telling you, they're gonna have more luck. If bros literally just showed up and they're like, dude, tonight we're just dancing, and they just enjoyed the shit out of themselves instead of standing in the corner sipping on their drink staring at everybody, they'd have such a more fun time. Like I remember we'd go out
Right.
and we're just like, there's nothing more fun than like you go to a house party, like, oh, I can't wait to meet people tonight, and then you sit in your same circle the whole party till you go home.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? Like, why did we even do this?
Yeah.
Like
funny.
That's the
we
dating.
had a lot of those moments where
Dude,
it's like, why are we even here?
That's the going
Like,
out.
what's
I
going
remember. I
on?
remember like everyone like pre-gaming, getting pumped up, like woo, we're about to go out, just to go to the party and stand in your own group of people and look at all the other people being like, no one's talking to each other. Well, we're not talking to anybody else either, and like.
Like people analyzing.
Dude, that was my favorite thing. Like going to parties or like going to events, and you just be like, "Pfft, man, look, no one's mingling." As we're all only talking to our
Not
friends, and then if
mingling.
someone came up to our group, we all would be like,
Who are
who
you?
is this guy?
It's so true.
So I don't miss that at all.
Yeah.
I don't miss it at all,
There was
man.
times we used to text that to each other.
Oh,
we're like,
dude.
who is this guy that just came
Yeah.
over?
And there's nothing worse than it's like when you go to you have to break away from your group and go to the bathroom. And you come out for a second, you're like,
Girls
oh my
don't do
God.
that. We all go together.
Well, of course. But it's like when you come back out, you're like, oh my God, where did they go?
Anxiety like kicks in
And
to
you
the
and then you
max.
see that one dude you like only talk to if he's at the party, and you're like, oh thank God. And you go cling to him like a buoy in the freaking ocean. You're just like, yeah. How you doing, man? You see your group, you're like, all right, have a good night, man. You go back. Dude, I can't like it's
a lot.
I
That's
love
so funny how accurate that is.
yeah, dude,
Though.
and I love
Big
people,
time.
so I do enjoy just talking up with people. I'll admit it. Like it's
Yeah.
not as like dramatic as that, but it is really funny. Like when I think of dating and going out, and like that's what it was. That's what it was to me.
Yeah.
So now I'm so much like hell yeah, I will just go. Like I am adopting the female philosophy of that. Just like we're just gonna go out and have fun. I'm like hell yeah. Why weren't we doing that before?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like well,
I will say though, in LA, it's really hard to go out and have fun without being like this the whole time.
oh yeah. Well, you mean like without guys trying to?
Well, no, just in general, there's too many people.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
I can't go to the clubs. You go like this,
Yes.
and if you get a table, you're still like this,
Yeah.
and you have to be like,
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, this is like the best thing, this change going out for me when I used to go out is like I would strictly start going to the gay bars because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Like we'd get a little group together and we'd just go to the gay bars and everyone was like so funny and so sweet and
happy,
so nice.
enjoying
And it's
life.
also was like, it was a different thing because like I feel like everyone was more free. You know what I mean? I mean, well, yeah, duh. But at the same time, it's like I feel like it was easier to also like talk to girls and just talk to other people in general. Other groups were more inviting and more talkative because yeah, you don't have that like it was like the club world is so gross to me and was always so gross
Yeah,
to me because it felt predatory. It did like there's no
does.
way it didn't because it's just like all these girls having fun dancing and then just a bunch of dudes like drinking their drink, just like watching them standing in the corner like bobbing their head and shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is
You're like,
creepy. I
hold
don't
on.
like this at all. And then if
Yeah.
you started dancing, you got looked at weird. If like you were the one guy in the group like, woo, let's go. People were like, that dude, he's weird. Like I didn't understand it. I didn't like it.
now
yeah.
you've got it down,
Dude, I've got it.
So
I'm
look, now
locked in.
we're all good. We're all in our relationships.
Yeah, man.
We're solidied with our.
Now I
what'd
do
you say?
just want to go put all my things in a circle and dance.
There you
Like,
go. I like to dance at home too.
yeah, you know,
Do you not dance at
No,
home?
yeah,
I should
I like to
dance at
dance in
home.
the
You
grocery
do.
stores. I like to dance in the coffee shops. I like to dance in my car.
It's
You
very
just
true.
bring dancing everywhere.
You're a dancer.
I love dancing.
Is what I'm starting.
Well, dancing is freeing.
It
It actually is genuinely
Yeah.
like
Genuinely.
releasing things.
Yeah,
Like
no.
you're throwing all this yucky stuff off you.
No, I definitely agree.
Hey, everyone has that outlet too, you know.
Yeah.
Where it's like that natural stress reliever, that fun, you know.
Yeah, man.
Brian is a gym.
Dancing, yeah, the gym for sure. I mean, well, that's like one of my biggest things, and you don't realize. I don't know why I said you don't realize, but I'm in my head a lot, and meditation, all this stuff is great for like clearing your head and whatnot. But moving your body is not even just for the gym, but moving your body is actually one of the best ways to get out of your head. And I went
Yes.
I started.
You are.
We gotta get back
soul,
into it.
Spirit, body.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
But
I
my girl and I
also-
went. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Finish.
Okay, it's just like your sentence started in the middle of mine, so I just went.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I'm like notoriously for
Yeah.
interrupting.
Okay.
No,
Okay. So.
Okay, yeah, okay, go ahead,
I
go
did
ahead.
that on purpose.
Okay,
Yeah, you
okay.
can go. You can
I was
go.
just
Oh,
saying,
he's
I went
funny.
salsa dancing for a while with my girlfriend, and I was like,
How
oh
was
my
that?
god,
Yeah.
oh dude, I love it so much. And it's funny because I guess it's like anything you've never really tried before. Like when I see dancing, that feels
Yeah.
so foreign to
Well,
me.
we've talked about possibly doing that.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
to. You got to. You
Yeah,
got
it'll
to.
be fun.
It's so awesome. You want to talk about quality time stuff? It's so awesome, but it's also you look at dancing and you're like, how do they do that? That's not me. I can't move that way. But then when you take that leap of faith and start doing, I'm like, oh my God, dude, I could dance forever. My thing is I have the capabilities of dancing forever. I just don't know what I'm doing. So once you start know what you're doing, dude, it's awesome.
It's like, I always tell people, like, it's a feeling. So you move with what's happening within you.
Yeah.
And then you go through it. So
See, I haven't experienced that through dancing yet, but
we'll get there. Babe.
yeah, see,
He's like, yeah, that's not me.
Yeah.
We've talked about doing dancing before.
No, dude.
What I was gonna say
you gotta
for release
salsa.
though is like you met Lucas, my trainer. So he just opened it like a week ago. He built half his gym into a recovery center.
It's beautiful.
So he added a
Probably be good for
room
my
for
hips.
cold plunge, hot tub, and then sauna. He added all that.
So smart.
So he had
a
me try.
businessman.
He had me try it for the first time, and it was crazy because it was my first time doing cold plunge. He had me do 2 minutes in the cold plunge,
Sauna.
immediately get out and go 3 minutes in the hot tub, immediately get out, go another 2 minutes in the cold plunge, and then back for another 3 and finish in the hot tub.
Yeah.
And then you do sauna. Yeah.
Dude.
And that was pretty crazy, actually. The cold plunge gets worse on the second or third round.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll tell you right now, that day that I did it, I felt like I didn't even need caffeine.
Oh,
I didn't need any. I was like wired the whole day.
I mean, look, man,
It shocks your system.
it does.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till those things are more of a household item. I don't, it kind of sucks that those things are like restricted to kind of like you either have to go pay for it or it's like it's definitely more of a luxurious thing.
I was gonna say it's luxury because to get them in home right now, it's pretty expensive.
It's still too expensive, and it's like you can, you can do cold showers and stuff, and that's kind of close. But I agree with you. Doing it's amazing.
Your best way of doing it at home until you get an actual cold plunge is just filling your bathtub with ice water and just do the same thing.
Yeah. And then also buying a second fridge to fit enough ice for a bath every day.
Just do the cold water.
Yeah. Just do the cold. But here's the thing. I did the cryo chamber.
Yeah. I did that too.
The cryo chamber.
I didn't like it very much.
I did it for
I haven't
3
done
months
that
straight.
One. I haven't done
Did
that
it
one.
do well for you?
Well, it was when I was shooting the football film a few years back.
Yep.
And
I loved that film, by the way.
Oh, thank you
I
very
cried.
much. I
did great.
cried
Yeah,
as
that
well.
was a
Thank
great-
you.
We watched it on the plane, I
We
think.
did.
Huh.
We did watch it on the plane.
Didn't I what?
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't you get a concussion off that film?
I did.
Wow.
I did. Yeah. The very last day, I got completely concussed. It was a whole thing. The dude's chin split like all the way open, all the way through here, and like, yeah, it was crazy. It's like when I came to, I was they were like super worried for a second because they were like,
I'd be worried too.
because they're like, what year is it? And I was saying the year of the film. They're like, what's your name? I was saying like my character's name. It was weird. Yeah. And then I got like vanned off, and then
because I was gonna say there's
you were involved in the character.
dude.
Well,
They
there's
were scared like when
sometimes-
you get knocked out. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because I
think
was gonna
you're-
say sometimes you can people can tell if you don't feel that you got the concussion instantly by asking you those questions, or it comes gradually.
Yeah,
like
well,
you seem okay at first.
Yeah,
But then as
Happened to my little brother.
yeah.
He fell off the trampoline, and at first he's like, "I don't feel good," and then he was out.
the thing is he went to
rushed to the
he
hospital.
went to bed right after, which
No,
you shouldn't sleep.
no,
you
no, you
should
don't.
not sleep after you hit your head that hard.
Yeah,
and then he wouldn't wake up.
yeah. Well, also
Now he's alive.
There's
He's
a
good.
very.
He's golden. I love him.
I was about to
Thankfully.
say, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're taking him to Disney for the first time very soon.
Oh man, wow, that's awesome. I haven't been to Disney World in so long. It's Disney World, right?
No,
We're taking him to
here.
Disneyland.
Okay, well, equally cool. Well, not as much.
Not
but,
equally.
Yeah,
but
But
it's still
it's-
cool for
but it's
him
still
for
cool.
us
because
yeah,
he's little.
Disney-
he's
yeah.
little.
It'll be
So-
his first time on any ride.
He's not gonna tell the
What?
difference.
Like he's just turned 5.
Yeah, dude,
The
that's
whole-
insane.
Yeah, he's not gonna tell the difference.
Is it for his birthday?
No, just
No,
because
just
we
in
love
general.
Oh, I
like,
thought
him.
you
He's potty
been-
trained, so we're taking him to
Sick.
Disneyland.
That's awesome.
thankfully.
I just got potty trained myself. That's crazy.
Look at that.
You and Alice together.
Yeah, man. We actually learned at the same
No,
time.
Alex
yeah.
is not potty trained.
Yeah. He is now. He is now.
No, he pees on people.
No, that's potty
No, that's-
excitement.
kidding.
That's potty excitement.
And that's just Nolan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Literally
it's all
just
coming together
Nolan.
now.
Yeah, man.
Nolan, I love you.
So funny side thing, not so funny about that production, like
Oh, yeah,
concussion
yeah.
and everything like that. It was so nuts because like I was basically like leading it with Luke Wilson and Martin Sheen. Amazing people, super cool, super sweet. But it's like the way they always kept them separate, like they were the coaches, and they kept all the boys together all the time. So we
Really?
stayed on the same at the same hotel, like not in the same rooms, but we like lived like we're on the same floor. We were always together to keep that like camaraderie and stuff. And then we were almost everything you saw. If we weren't on set, we were at practice, and then eventually we were only on set, and everything you saw was very like we were doing most all those hits and all those jumps and all those dives and all that.
Your own stunt man.
Yeah, and my body was just keeping myself going, and then I got the concussion, and then I was back on set, and just because like we had like a day left, you know what I mean? I was just like, no, I can do it. Like I'll just have me stand there, and I'll say what I have to say and leave, and you know what I mean? Because like I wasn't feeling great, but
Last day.
I got through it. It's funny how your body pushes you through.
Yeah.
Because
Facts.
because the rap party was like 2 days later. And up until that point, I was doing relatively. I mean, I got the concussion and they told me not to, but I still went to the gym. Like I did a lot of stuff you weren't supposed to do. But I was like, because I don't know.
felt
There's something.
okay.
It's like I have to.
Right,
Well, it's
right.
not even that I felt okay as much as like I have to push myself. I have to keep going.
Isn't that life?
It's not done yet. And then like when we knew it was over, blah blah blah, I shut down. Like my body, literally the day of the rap party, shut down. Insanely sick, insanely weak, headaches.
Gone.
It's almost like my body was like, "Oh, is it done? Okay, we're done." And that was such a
did what I needed to
wild.
do.
I did what I
Yeah.
needed to do. That was such a wild experience. It's so like it makes sense to me how like I'm very curious how these athletes and stuff. I wonder
You're right.
what the system they probably have to do those plunges and stuff like that. Keep their
Yeah.
body used to these states of extremities because
Yes.
Right.
basically I was thinking like, oh yeah, when I was done, because I trained like an athlete, that whole thing. I was working out. I would wake up at like 5 a.m, to go do cardio, and then we'd go shoot for the day, and it was all sprints and all
Yeah.
whatever football filming we had to do. And then the minute I got off, I went and did 2 hours of weightlifting, like because my character was supposed to be big and buff, and I had to
Right.
be able to do this every day. We shot,
Yeah.
I mean, we shot like 2.5 months, and I think I only had 2 days off,
Yeah.
like of actual filming besides weekends, but like of being off. And it was just you set yourself up to be in this constant, preparation. And then I shut off, dude. Like I remember when I flew back, I slept like 3 days straight and was still sick. Like I was sick for a while.
Dang.
And it's just funny how your body is like, we can do this, push through, and then done. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy. I'd never experienced anything like
That's
that.
pretty wild. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, somewhat. I mean, I think my head's a little messed up.
Just a little
I've had,
bit.
I think, like 2 to 3 concussions, and I definitely think it's done a few things. I
Dang.
must say.
So what we take from this, in this episode, we can take,
Wear a helmet always.
wear a helmet. Be
Always.
careful.
You go outside,
just
always have a
wear a
helmet on.
helmet.
Wear a helmet. That's it.
Sorry about the single dating life. And if there's something I got wrong, which I get a lot wrong, if there's something
Same.
I got wrong about the dating world now that you're like, well, actually, Jake, I like this, send it. Send it in. Message us.
Yes.
Instagram at Busybodies, YouTube
Tell us what
Busybodies
we're
Podcast.
missing out on. Just kidding. It's good.
Hit us up with these
Yes.
questions. If you're like, oh, Jake, by the way, you're wrong and dumb, send it in.
Yeah.
I want
Maybe
to
don't say those exact words.
Just
but,
emphasize on that, guys.
Yeah.
Something in that.
Let us know what you liked. Let us know your thoughts. Give us those comments, and then
Also, have a beautiful day.
Yeah.
May you feel
Amazing.
revived, joyful, epic, no doubt or fear in your life today.
And
And party.
I hope this got you through your traffic. Yep.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
You're
All right,
tragic.
guys.
I call it tragic now.
till next week, guys. We love you.
Bye, busy babies.
Bye.